Good have Shabbos, Young Israel, and hope all are well and stay so. Mazel Tov to Cheryl and Dr. Jeff Klein upon the marriage of their son Jason to Rivka Savovich this past week. Mazel Tov to Jeff and Marjorie Gartman upon the birth of a granddaughter born to parents Mayor and Jennifer Sternfield. And Mazel Tov to our children, to Rav Yossi and Elisheva Lowy upon the bris of our grandson Eliezer Gershon. May all continue to enjoy much, much simcha and nachas in good health. Baron Shimon Zev Rothschild was a member of the famous Rothschild banking family, and also a tremendous Yirei Shomayim. As to say that he was Orthodox was an understatement. He was a very big tzaddik. And at one point, a Russian Jew presented himself at Baron Rothschild's home and described himself as a sofer from Russia. He came bearing Haskamos letters attesting to his Yashrus, his Erlich, and his righteousness. And Reb Shimon Zev that hired him to write new mezuzahs for his whole house and a set of Megillas on cloth and a whole bunch of parshas of tefillin for his family. And the sofer he was commissioned, he worked out of Baron Rothschild's home for a number of weeks. At one point, Sir Shimon Zev asked the Russian sofer, has my been paying you properly? So the sofer opens up his ledger and he says that yes, on May 15th, the secretary gave me 35 ruble. On June 10th, he gave me 27. So Reb Shimon Zev and Rothschild was very unimpressed. What was so unimpressed? What was so terrible by reading off his ledger? So the Baron explained as follows. I unfortunately don't have a choice. I engage in commerce across Europe, across the world, and have to utilize these civil dates, January, February, May, June. You, though, are a sofer stam. You're a Russian Jew. You work for other from Orthodox Russian Jews. In this case, you travel, German Jews. So why do you have to utilize secular dates? What are you hiding? HaChodesh hazeh lachem Rosh Chodeshim, Rishon hu lachem l'chadshei hashana. As you should be using the Hebrew dates, the Jewish dates. What are you so ashamed of? Why does your own personal ledger have to be utilizing May, June, July? What's wrong with Sivan Tammuz Av? That's why use the Jewish names. And he was so bothered by this that he decided whatever svarim you've written, whatever parashas of tefillin you've written up to this point, mezuzahs, please keep them. Keep the money that I gave you, distribute them to Russian Jews of your choice when you go home. Whatever I've given you, you can keep. But I'm a sofer who doesn't use the Yiddish dates, the Jewish dates, is not somebody that I'm interested in writing my parashas. As we, Baruch Hashem, have our own calendar, our own heritage, our own minhagim, our own ways that we comport ourselves, and there's nothing ever to be ashamed of. We're proud of our Yamim Tovim, we're proud of our dates, of our calendar, and the greatest extent possible, even though the post can do say it's not usher to utilize the civil date. Sometimes we don't have a choice. You do your pull down your credit card expiration dates. They don't give you Nisan or Sivan as a choice. When it's 1, 2, 3, it means January, February, March. It's not referring to the R123s. So when you have to use the civil date, whenever we have the opportunity, whether celebrating birthdays, whether keeping own personal family records, we should be proud of our heritage. We should, to whatever extent possible, try to utilize the Hebrew calendar, the Hebrew dates, rather than the civil calendar. Have a great, great Shabbos.